Welcome everybody to the Blocks SMP server. I recently joined this server on a quest just to make more friends and play some good old-fashioned Minecraft. The server is vanilla, but you are going to notice that there are a few things a little different. Similar to other popular SMP servers, there are data packs running to add just some decorative spice. Now, I've been having a lot of fun over this last week, and as you'll soon see, I've been busy. Now, I know what you guys are gonna say. Dark Voice, why is your first episode always so late and when you have so much built already? Well, to answer that, I can only say... Wait! What's that behind you? No. To be honest though, I just didn't think I was gonna make any videos, but I was actually just having so much fun, and I wanted to share it, and also just kind of have some fun making these videos, so... yeah. Now, behind me here, you can see my storage system. This is a new design made by Mizuma, and it's pretty awesome. If we step back around here, you can actually see it's a fairly complex and pretty compact system. Spent quite a few hours kind of working on this and really getting it all to work. The troubleshooting was a little longer. I missed a couple of spots, but really great design. If we head across the way over here, though, you'll see that I've also built a moss farm. And now this is a design by Mango, and it was the perfect size for what I need. I have made a lot of other designs, but to be frank, this one is just better. Easier, less management, a little more expensive, I will say, than some of the builds that I have other designs for, but again, Il Mango is incredible, and this is just a great design. Now, one thing to know about the server is that there's a bounty board that has farms and other things that community members request and offer diamond payouts for. And since I needed to build a furnace array for myself anyway, and they were requesting a furnace array that they were offering 48 diamonds for, out of the goodness of my heart, I chose to build it. Now, since it is meant for the community, I did build it on Spawn Island at a location that should be easy for everybody to get to. I really like this design. It's pretty compact. It can smelt full stack as quickly as it basically can be. Very low cost and pretty easy to build. And it has the side bonus of being very fun to listen to. Okay, so I don't know why this is even... this is another day, so I apologize if this is morning voice. But I'm just so stupid, and I don't know why this is making it to the video. I was trying to make scaffolding, and I was like freaking out, and I was like, what is happening? This is the recipe for... And I put in chat, I was like, hey, the recipe for scaffolding is 6 bamboo and a string, yeah? And I was using sugarcane. This isn't bamboo, this is sugarcane. Okay, anyway, let's go get some actual bamboo. Awesome. Alright, so I'm back. I have a little bit less morning voice now. The vocal cords are starting to move. Yeah, I went and got a whole bunch of actual bamboo, not sugarcane, and now we can actually kind of start on this next process. Now, I'm probably going to spend some time trying to like workshop this a little bit. I'm not 100% sure how I want this to go. I have an idea in my head. Now, the thing is, I'm really not a builder. I'm really bad at this type of thing. So I'm trying to kind of step outside of my comfort zone and just see, you know, what I can do, kind of what I can come up with, and hopefully it works. It might not. It might just be very unfortunate, but we shall see. We shall see. The idea, though, is I want to cover the roof with Skulk. Now, this is something that works maybe a little better in like painting, or and what I mean painting like an IRL house, and it's something that is some people kind of divided about like how much it works or not. So we'll see. It's an idea. But one thing that you can do that in like painting a real house is you can add height to a room by either darkening it or really lightening it, right? So kind of the idea is that you can make something feel like it's a little more open by having a different color that tries to like blend in a little. It kind of like elevates. Now, in this small example, it doesn't really work because I'm really close to it. And so my eyes are like more naturally drawn towards it, right? So like it's more, I don't know how to describe this. It's more attention grabbing. Now, when something is attention grabbing like this, though, it doesn't necessarily do that effect, right? Which is why there's like some arguments about like how effective it actually is or not, right? But the idea is we want to cover some of these like giant holes, try to prevent like orbital creepers and other things like that, right? So we're just going to start covering. It was actually the big reason why I lowered the floor as much as I did. Like you can see if I go into my spectator cam here, you can see the height that this all was based on my bed and stuff. You can see as well. We had to strip this whole thing down. The reason was I felt like if I started adding, you know, blocks to the surface, it was just too close, and would start causing some issues. Now, again, kind of our goal as well is if we head over kind of this direction, I want to build rooms that are actually going to be kind of like hollowed out in these like sides. So I'm going to actually probably carve a little bit more off of this edge to make it just a little more sheer. But this space here is going to be really cool. I want to have like my bedroom somewhere up in here. I want to have like an enchantment table, a brewing station, and access to a few other things. I may even put like my villager trading hall somewhere over there. There's a really cool thing up here though. If I zip up here, we have this awesome like grotto. I think this is really cool. I hadn't even really noticed it, but I really want to do something here. I'm kind of debating about like kind of peeling back some of this wall a little more as well, and then having kind of this far side open up a little bit more to add like a lakeside hut type thing. I don't know. These are just ideas for now. We'll see. We're going to be tabling a lot of things. One of the things that can happen to me, and I'm sure it happens to a lot of people, but I can only speak for myself, is I get really excited on new worlds and I go, wow, I could do this and this and this. And before I know it, I have like a list that's like 400 things long of like, I'd like to do this here. Well, the problem is you can have this almost paralysis. I kind of think of it very similarly to analysis paralysis. So for those of you that haven't heard of that before, analysis paralysis is something that happens when people are interacting with really kind of anything that they have to analyze, and then there's too much to analyze, so then they shut down, right? For myself, I use this professionally. I do UX UI, and so of course, psychologically, that's a component. But it's something that affects, I think, everything we do. It's a very widespread issue. And I think that when we create large lists that we have to like self-analyze and remember, we give ourselves our own version of analysis paralysis, right? And so the goal when like doing things is to break things down into manageable chunks. That's actually one of the big reasons why like to-do lists are so effective, right? Is because it gives you tangible, small goals that allow you to fixate and focus instead on, I only have to remember this one item and then I move on. Because some people are like, well, why do you even need a list if you just remember all of your tasks? Well, just remembering all of the tasks alone is sometimes very daunting. So we're going to try to like focus on just a few things at once. I need to light up a couple of these spots here. Oh gosh. Some of these spots are really dark. But yeah, we're going to start here by just kind of covering the roof. I'm gonna only do a little section from like here over, because again, we're probably just gonna start like with like, maybe we'll go to like here and like go this way. I just don't want it to like detract too much. And we're gonna have to figure out how we like ease in and out of it, like transition. But we can figure that out later. For now, let's get the bamboo going and just kind of see what happens. I put all my string. Where did I put my string? I put my string somewhere. It's probably up here. Yep, there it is. All right, so we got our string here now. Let's just start building some scaffolding. It's really nice when you just have, you know, the actual ingredients, not sugarcane. Can't. I'm never gonna recover from that. Now, one thing you probably are gonna start noticing, though, guys, is that my render distance is way further than it was in some of my earlier clips. I actually just installed a new mod for myself. It's not a new mod necessarily. It's new for me. I've never used it before. It's a mod called Bobby, and it works by loading in all of your chunks on your client side, and it saves them out to a special like folder on your own hard drive. And it's basically purely visual. What's really cool about Bobby is that once you load in chunks, they stay loaded in visually for much further, right? And you can adjust how far you want it to go. So like for myself right now, I've set it so that it's around. Well, okay. I tried setting it to 40. It might only be 32 right now, but as you can see, it's dramatically further. Like on the server originally, like when I was like kind of on here, like messing around for the last week, I couldn't even see the skull from like the middle of my island. So that's really cool. I actually really want to go back to spawn and like see what people have been building, but like for the render distance. So it's a really great tool because it allows us to offset like the load off of like servers and put it on your client instead, so it's not going to lag everybody else out. And yeah, so pretty cool mod. But yeah, the idea is we're gonna be like Michelangelo here, slapped up against the ceiling. I actually think that stuff like this is kind of difficult to do. But we'll see. We're gonna start with, like I said, like a small little strip here. Oh, that's all gonna update, isn't it? Well, if I update the bottom, it's okay. Okay, never mind. If we update the bottom, we're fine. Yeah, we're just gonna go in like these little kind of small strips, kind of adding this in. We're gonna have a lot of holes, I'm sure, that we're gonna need to like patch and fix out. Now, one thing that I am gonna do is I'm not gonna be stripping it out to make it even. I really don't want to do that. I think that if we take it to make it even like that, it's gonna start looking really, really ugly. And that's something we want to try to avoid. It'll also look really unnatural. Like, one of the big things that I liked about this cave was how natural the cave formation kind of flowed. And one of the issues that I have frequently that I'm going to try to get better at is not turning everything into just a giant squares that I cut out. Like you'll notice basically for everything I build, I just start chunking out giant squares. I mean, you probably saw it. Currently, the best example of it that I have on the server is over at the the furnace array. I literally just dug a giant hole out of the ground and started kind of going, right? And that really just doesn't look very good. So trying to like work with the existing terrain to a degree is something that I want to do. Yeah, let's take a quick step down here and just kind of see how that feels. We're gonna, oh my gosh, guys, we're gonna need so much skulk. That was 2 full stacks of skulk. I do like that, especially since with like no light up top, it's gonna be really dark. So it's just gonna add a really nice kind of texture to the ceiling of it, which will add like an interesting color. We're probably gonna want to break it up with like vines, some stalactites, various other kind of things. I think that too much of a single texture here might get kind of in the way. Like here, let's real quick rip down the scaffolding, and I get a look at it there. Let's see, just get out of the way. I mean, it's such a small strip, it's almost impossible to tell. Yeah, I like it. The thing that I also love about it is that it has this pulse to it, right? You can see, I know it's kind of dark and I apologize, but you can see that the skulk kind of pulses a little, right? And I think that's really, really cool that it does that. I think that right there just really feels really, really great. I think once we get more of this done, it'll probably feel even better. So we'll probably, oh, that's why that didn't break down. That was on top of there. Anyway, yeah, we'll probably just kind of keep going. I'm probably gonna do a lot of this off camera just because it's pretty monotonous work. And yeah, so we'll be back here in a minute after we've done a bunch more, and we'll see how it goes. Jeez, well, that shakes you out of it. All right, well, guys, it's been quite a few hours, and golly, it doesn't look like it's been quite a few hours, does it? But man, it sure has been. This is probably close to 15 to 16 stacks of skulk so far. We're down to our last 3 here. I know I started this clip, that last little section there, saying I was looking to go from like here and forward because I didn't want to rip it out. Well, I kind of realized as I started working on it that this space here is going to be a lot harder to do nicely, because there's a lot of gap between, and I'd either have to fill the whole wall up like the side and just like cover it, or leave bits poking out. And I kind of want it to be bits poking out as it goes, but I don't necessarily want it to be as dark. One of the things that I was thinking about through this whole process was kind of the idea that you want your builds to have some sort of story or like logic behind them, even if they're illogical, right? Like even if there's like floating stuff, right? You want it to be somewhat logical or have like a story to make it really feel like it's there. Otherwise, it starts feeling less intentful. So kind of what I'm thinking about doing is I'd kind of want to create like I don't know, some sort of structure here in this middle section underneath this like big open dome that makes it look like the skulk is like pouring up and out of it, kind of spreading from a contamination zone. And so, oh, that's kind of a fun effect actually. I kind of dig that. I wonder if you could make that happen like permanently. Like just get a bunch of them, like name tag them and put them in, and then like figure out how to like force them to sit there like that so that they're like little squiggles stick out. That's actually a really cool effect. I'm gonna have to spend some time thinking about that because that's actually really kind of cool. Man, I just got totally distracted by that. But yeah, the idea would be kind of it would like spread along the floor. And in this area, it's really strong, and that it'll kind of snake up and around. I kind of want it to look like it's kind of growing up over this wall onto the ceiling and then spreading out. And yeah, and then I'll probably have like other spots like over here, of course, that like wraps up and goes up as well, but not everywhere. That way, it doesn't feel like it's dramatically overdone. But that's just kind of the idea. The next thing that we're going to have to think through, and this will probably be on the next video because we are getting kind of long on the video here. And probably have to add some more of this to the next video. But I kind of want to, before I continue on the ceiling structure, or excuse me, on the ceiling skulking, I kind of want to figure out the story and the block palette for the rest of the base. So far, kind of the story that I'm thinking is like scientist discovers underground contamination and sets up like shop around the area with high-tech gadgetry, etc., all focused on studying the, you know, contaminant. And we've discovered that there's like, you know, structures that we can kind of build and maintain that keep the skulk from growing over it all, and like kind of a fight against the skulk overgrowing the place, and you know, our research facility. That's kind of the thought that I have so far. Let me know in the comments, guys, how you feel about that, if you think that's a cool idea, or if you have just other ideas as well, kick them my way. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Kind of a strange little episode, I know, but I had fun making it. Hopefully you guys had fun watching. Until the next time, everybody, we'll see you later, and take care out there.